Nvidia put out Nemotron 3.5 Lightning, and the spec line is the first thing worth reading. 30 billion total parameters, 3 billion active per token. License is Open MDW 1.1, so weights, training data, and the recipes are all public, and commercial use is allowed. Context window goes to 1 million tokens, and it fits on a single H100, or a single DGX Spark. Supported languages are English, Spanish, French, German, Italian, and Japanese, plus a long list of programming languages. Nvidia is calling it the smallest member of the Nemotron 3 family. The pitch behind it is more specific than most model releases, and I think that's the part people are skipping. Nvidia's blog says long-running agents spend most of their time on high-volume execution, tool calls, checking whether the output was valid, formatting results, handing work to sub-agents. If you route every one of those steps through a frontier reasoning model, you pay for reasoning you never used. Lightning is built to sit under a smarter model and do that repetitive layer cheaply. Nvidia names OpenClaw and Hermes Agent as harnesses it was tuned for. Architecture is a hybrid, not a plain transformer. You get interleaved Mamba 2 layers, mixture of experts layers, and a small number of attention layers mixed in. Mamba keeps a fixed size recurrent state instead of growing a KV cache for every token, which is a big part of why a 1 million token window is even servable on one card. The mixture of experts router sends each token to a few experts only, so you get the storage capacity of a 30 billion model while paying compute for about 3 billion. That combination is the whole design. Training ran from December 2025 through May 2026 on more than 20 trillion tokens. Pre-training data cutoff is September 2025. Post-training goes to May 2026. What caught my eye is that Nvidia pre-trained directly in an NVFP4 recipe, rather than training in higher precision and squeezing it afterward. Then there's a second pre-training stage just to teach the multi-token prediction heads, supervised fine-tuning on code, math, tool calling, and structured output, and a reinforcement learning stage using GRPO across math, code, science, multi-step tool use, and multi-turn chat. Post-training quantization comes last. Speed comes from 3 different speculative decoding options, and they are not interchangeable. MTP is baked into the checkpoint itself, so no separate download, and Nvidia says it suits medium to high concurrency. DSpark is a separate draft model that proposes a whole block of tokens in one forward pass, and it's the recommended default for DGX Spark and low concurrency serving. DFlash is a lightweight block diffusion drafter offered as a third option. And for maximum throughput batch serving on an H100, Nvidia says no speculative decoding at all is fastest, which is a refreshingly specific admission. Quantization is handled with an NVFP4 checkpoint alongside a BF16.1. On Blackwell GB200, the FP4 tensor cores run it natively. On Hopper and Ampere, the same file runs through W4A16 kernels, since those chips have no FP4 tensor cores. So one download covers a GB200 rack, an H100, an A100, a 5090, and a DGX Spark. The accuracy cost of that quantization is small. On the model card, BF16 hits 81.94 on MMLU Pro, and the FP4 version hits 81.62. On SWE Bench Verified, the FP4 checkpoint actually scores slightly higher, 52.80 against 51.56. Reading the rest of that benchmark table honestly, this is a capable small model and not a frontier one. GPQA Diamond sits around 75. Terminal Bench 2.1 lands near 23. Humanities Last Exam, text only with no tools, is under 12. Long context retrieval on AALCR comes in around 49 for the quantized build. Instruction following on IF Bench is about 73, and Pinch Bench, which is Agentic, is up in the 83 to 85 range. So the strong spots are instruction following and Agentic toolwork, and the weak spots are hard science and terminal tasks. Nvidia's actual competitive claim is not about raw accuracy at all. It's about the accuracy versus speed curve. They report up to 4 times the output speed of similar-sized models, and the number I found more convincing is from Pinch Bench, where Lightning hits 86% accuracy, while finishing 10,000 tasks 30% faster than Quinn 3.6 35B at comparable accuracy. For anything running in a loop all day, finishing the work sooner matters more than a couple of points on a leaderboard. Independent reviewers have been fair but not glowing, and that's worth knowing before you commit. Several write-ups point out that Qwen 3.6 35B is materially stronger on hard science, software engineering, terminal work, and long context accuracy in Nvidia's own comparison charts. Meta's Muse Glimmer 30B came out around the same time and adds image input plus wider language support. The consistent takeaway is that Lightning wins the narrow contest Nvidia designed it for: cheap, fast, persistent text execution. And it's a weaker pick if you want one model to do everything. Pricing gives you a sense of where it's meant to sit. On OpenRouter, at launch, it was listed at 10 cents per million input tokens and 25 cents per million output tokens, with a free tier available. Compare that to what you pay for a frontier model on every single tool call in a long agent run, and the math starts to explain the entire product. Nvidia also has it hosted on Base 10, CoreWeave, Deep Infra, Fireworks, Together, Nebius, and through SageMaker Jumpstart, Google Cloud, and Microsoft Foundry. Running it locally is genuinely low friction, which is unusual for a hybrid model. There's an official Allama build, so a single Allama run command works, though Allama sets context based on your VRAM, roughly 4K under 24 gigs, 32K between 24 and 48, and 256K above that. There are official GGUF weights for llama.cpp, published by the ggml.org account, and an LM Studio listing. For serving, vLLM, SGLang, and TensorRT LLM all have published recipes, and Nvidia specifies the flags for each hardware target, rather than making you guess. A few of those flags are worth understanding even if you never type them. The Mamba backend is set to flash infer because the Mamba 2 layers need their own kernels. The Mamba state cache is often set to float 16 to have memory, and stochastic rounding is enabled alongside it, so rounding error does not pile up across a very long sequence. Reasoning parser is Nemotron _v3, and the tool call parser is Qwen 3 _coder. Recommended sampling is temperature 1.0 and top P of 0.95. Thinking is on by default, and you can turn it off per request through a chat template argument. Alongside the model, Nvidia shipped Nemo Switchyard, which is the routing piece that makes the whole story work in practice. Your agent stops talking to a model directly and talks to Switchyard instead, and Switchyard decides where each request goes. Planning routes up to something like Nemotron 3 Ultra, or whatever frontier model you use, and execution routes down to Lightning. LangChain published a routing benchmark around it, and Nvidia's Nemo Claw stack handles security and management for always-on agents. That's a system of models rather than one model, and it's clearly where Nvidia thinks this is heading. Customization is the other half of the argument, and I think it's underrated. Small models fine-tune faster, cheaper, and on hardware you might already own. Nvidia points you to Nemo Auto Model and Megatron Bridge for LoRa, or full fine-tuning, and Nemo RL plus Nemo Gym for reinforcement learning and environment-based evaluation. They also released the Agentic terminal reinforcement learning dataset used to train some of the coding agent behavior, which means you can extend the exact recipe instead of reverse engineering it. Partners like Distill Labs, Fastino, ThoughtWorks, and CodeRabbit have already published their own fine-tuning and routing write-ups. One detail in the data section I did not expect to see. Nvidia says that during internal audits, some teacher models occasionally produced reasoning traces that aligned with specific political entities or pushed nationalistic framing, so they built keyword and regex filters to strip those trajectories out. They also published the demographic skew they found in source datasets like Fine PDFs and Essential Web, and recommend bias audits. Most labs do not write that down in public. Where I'd land on it, if you're building anything that runs unattended for hours, this is a serious candidate for the boring 90% of the calls, and the cost difference compounds fast. If you want one model to plan architecture and write hard code, look elsewhere and use this underneath it. The reproducibility recipes are published in Nemo Gym, so the benchmark numbers can be checked rather than taken on faith, and that's a decent reason to trust the rest of the card. Alright, so That's it from the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like this video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.